Hello, good morning and good evening once again to our virtual viewers right now. So once again, this is Grandis Espresso Lounge. This is your virtual coffee table, a place to catch up with you, our nurses, our physical therapists, OTs, and our partners. So here in Grandis Espresso Lounge, we encourage everyone to share their voice and experiences to educate and inspire more Filipino healthcare workers like nurses and PDs. That hashtag No American Dream is impossible when you have the right partner. And for tonight, this is again, once again, Jody, who will be your host. And aside from me, we also have here Miss Jessa, one of our grandest nurses in the United States. So hello, Miss Jessa. Good evening. Can you
Hey, good
introduce yourself?
evening.
Ayan.
Good evening, everyone. Good morning. For those who watching in the United States, I'm Jessa, and I'm the first nurse who got deployed here at Rhode Island.
Wow, that's very nice to hear, Miss Jessa. No, our very first nurse deployed in Rhode Island. So for tonight, Miss Jessa will be sharing her experience and her American dream journey. Coming from the Philippines and going to first New York in Brooklyn, in Grandison's head office, and of course from New York going to Rhode Island. Yeah. Sorry, is that right, Miss Jessa? Your first point of entry in the United States is it New York or New Jersey? Sorry.
New Jersey.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so thank you for that, Miss Jessa. And actually, I have here some set of questions, Miss Jessa, that I have prepared for tonight's interview, no? Because I know that a lot of Filipino healthcare workers right now are thinking, no, is it still worth it for me to go to the United States, even the retrogression? And maybe some are still contemplating whether they should be choosing United States versus other foreign countries in terms of practicing their nursing career abroad. So yeah, I'll go ahead with the first question that we have, Miss Jessa. Can you tell us more about your arrival in the United States, your experience? Was there someone who picked you up from the airport? And how many colleagues from Grandison did you nakasama mo nung flight papuntang US?
So we were five, and then someone picked us up at the airport, then sent us to our staff house in New York. Then our next full day, we went for medical and creation of our bank account. So Grandson will help you with that. And then our second day, we have that full day to do whatever we want. But we came home early because we're still tired from our long
Jet
flight.
lag.
Yeah. We went to the office in Howell, New Jersey, and they explained everything to us. And then the next day, we went to our state of assignment.
Wow, okay. So it's nice to know that someone picked you up all the way from the airport going to New Jersey office then, and you were able to like spend or tour in New York on your second day. Aside from that, Miss Jessa, how was your arrival in terms of um um what's this? The accommodation, right? So was there a place waiting for you already when you arrived in the United States? And how many days did you spend in New Jersey before going to Rhode Island?
Uh, we spent three, five, no, just 3 days in New York. So there's a staff house there where we can stay. So it was I think an I'm not sure if it's an apartment or it was because we were in second floor and there's 3 bedroom, but we use 1 bedroom together with my uh
Oh, you stay together with the other nurse.
other four nurses because we don't know each other and we want to know each other's story. So we
Oh,
were still close until now. We have our group chat and
okay,
asking
okay.
whatever we need to. So it's nice being with them actually.
Yeah, well at least well that's nice. That's a nice way to make new friends in New York, especially with the Grandison colleague, no. So So which means to say that you went to the US alone, not with your family,
Yeah.
because some of the other nurses they fly into the United States together with their family already. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Usually,
yeah.
I think for the other nurses, they went alone. Then after a week, their husband and children will come over.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, I think that's really the usual setup for some of the nurses, and I think that's also makes it easier for the whole family to adjust, right? In terms of adjusting all together on the first day, I think the
Yeah.
nurse can adjust for the first week or maybe on the first month, right? So that once the family members arrive, they can also assist them in terms of adjusting, finding which school to enroll for their children or for their kids in the United States, no? And also related to your arrival, Miss Jessa, what do you think was the biggest challenge that you had during your first week or first month in the United States?
Well, I think it will be on spending because if you convert it, everything was expensive here. So, but I think Gravison have this program where you can have a loan with them, and then you will pay it after you have your salary.
Okay, well that's nice. Well, actually, that's the first time that I'm hearing it right now from a nurse who arrived in the United States. No, but it's nice to know that Grandison was able to help you in terms of the expenses during your first month of stay in the United States. And we mentioned earlier that that you are assigned in Rhode Island. So how was it in Rhode Island? How many hours was it from New York?
It was 1 hour flight.
Oh, it's 1 hour flight. Okay. And you are assigned, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Jessa, you are currently assigned in Eden Healthcare, one of our partners in Rhode Island. And I do believe that they have this free accommodation for um Grandison stuff. So were you able to take advantage of that free accommodation as well?
Yes, I'm currently in this house provided by the facility.
Oh
So it was,
wow.
but I was the first one, so I was alone here for a while.
How about now? Are you still alone? Oh, yeah, are you still
Yeah,
alone?
because they're waiting for another 11 nurses who will come here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But well, that's too many. That's 11 coming to Rhode Island together with you. Well, that will be like a whole lot of friends that you'll be making soon in Rhode Island. And hold on. I'll just check the next question, Miss Jessa. No. So how far is the facility again from the accommodation that you're currently residing at right now?
It was 15 to 20 minutes ride from here. So it's kind of far, but because there is no traffic and the road was very good. So yeah, it was
Sorry.
15 to 20 minutes.
Okay, 15 to 20 minutes, no. So I'm just curious as well, Miss Jessa, no. Did you also avail of Grandison's car loan assistance? Because I know that for the nurses who wants to avail or want to have a car in the United States, we have this program as well to help you in terms of getting a car in the US.
Yeah, they send me an assistance for that, but since I have free transportation here, it was covered by the facility I am working with, so I didn't avail it.
Wow, even the transportation is covered by the facility.
Yeah.
And that transportation is that 24/7, like every time you want to go out, is there a transportation ready
Um,
waiting for you?
you have to schedule it because there's 3 shift here, so it was 7 to 3, 3 to 11, and 11 to 7, and I will be working all of that shift. So you have to inform the transportation officer for your schedule. Yeah, and then 3 times a week you can go for a shopping, and wherever you want, they will drive you for that.
Wow,
Yeah.
all for free by the
Yeah, for
facility.
free.
Oh, okay, okay. And how was the first month in the facility or in Rhode Island? I know that you mentioned earlier that the expense was one of the biggest challenge. But aside from that, how was the experience? What are the other struggles or challenges that you have encountered in the United States, aside from being homesick as well?
Actually, when I arrived here, they gave me $1,000 arrival bonus. So it was a really great help to start in here because I have some money to spend for like groceries and basic things that I need. And the first month, it was pretty easy actually because everyone here is very accommodating and they were always asking if I need something, they can help me with that. Even the nurses and the other colleagues, they don't have to, but they offer me help every time. And I don't see a lot of Filipino here. In our facility, we only have one Filipino.
Oh.
So uh, I'm very happy and grateful that even though I don't get to meet a lot of Filipino here, other nurses and other colleagues are willing to help. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's good to hear. That's good to hear that you have a good support system in Rhode Island right now. And don't worry because soon there'll be like more or 11 more Filipino nurses coming
hopefully
to Rhode Island. Yeah, no.
they're waiting for you here.
Yeah. And in terms of the facility experience, how did you prepare for your first day of work? And what is your most remarkable adjustment in the United States? Medyo dami kong tanong, no? Sunod-sunod, no,
Yeah,
Miss
it's
Jessa?
okay. Well,
Yeah.
I am working in a skilled nursing facility. So the setup here was very different from what we used to if you work in the Philippines in a hospital because hospital here is very expensive. So after being hospitalized, they will go to skilled nursing facility for rehab or for continuation of care. Most patients are geriatric. So our youngest is uh, on his 50s. And in our unit, we have 40 bed capacity. So most of them are skilled uh, patient. We call them resident here. We don't call them patient. So they were resident. And there were two RN for that.
Okay, well, that's good to know, no. And how was the adjustment, Miss Jessa? Because I know that the healthcare system here in the Philippines is very different in the United States, like what you mentioned earlier. So how is the facility helping you in terms of adjusting on their healthcare system there?
Well, actually, I'm still on training right now because I haven't got my license. It's still under process because you need your SSN for that. So it was actually pretty easy to be on training because I don't do much. But I think, and there's also like educational lecture for those new nurses who came here. I think they can also easily adjust because they will teach you everything before you actually do it.
Oh, okay, okay. And I'm just curious as well with your background here in the Philippines. So, did you have prior nurse experience here in the Philippines before going to the United States?
Yes, I actually work in the Philippines. In Actually, I already have a lot of experience. I've been working for the past 10 years. I also work in UAE,
Oh,
so
yep.
I can compare everything. But everything is a lot easier here compared from all my previous work.
Okay. And that's nice. That's nice to know, no, that you also work in the UAE, so you already have an idea
I
of the
also
comparison. Yeah.
Yeah. And I also work for BPO for 6 months in the Philippines. So if your experience is in BPO, it will be really a great help adjusting because of usually if you're in BPO, you're working for US company. So all the procedure, medication, it was all the same. So it will be easier for you to work here.
Well, that's great
Compare
to
if you work
know.
in BPO than hospital in the Philippines.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
was about to ask actually whether do you think or do you recommend that having an experience would be much helpful, or is it a must before they actually go to the United States coming here from the Philippines?
Of course, having an experience in the Philippines is helpful. But if you don't have that experience, I think you can still make it here in the United States because they will not just say that go ahead and do everything. They will train you first, so you don't have to worry. And they are very careful as well because of course, of the law here.
Yeah, well, thank you
So
so much for that, Miss Jessa. No, so it's a good encouragement to those Filipino
mm,
nurses, or other healthcare professionals who wants to work in the United States as well. That even though they don't have experience yet, um, once they go to the United States, the facility will still give them training or assistance in terms of adjusting to the healthcare system there. And I think my next question for you, Miss Jessa, is right now, actually, a lot of nurses is very hesitant to work in the United States or to work in a skilled nursing facility setting because of so many myths, no? Like yung nurse to patient ratio, or so maybe it's best for us if we can also top that today, so
yeah.
that our viewers can have a grasp of what's really happening in the United States in terms of the nurse to patient ratio. So can you tell us an estimated count based on the training that you are undergoing right now? What is estimated number of patients that you're actually looking to take care of on a daily basis?
Actually, it depends on your shift. For our unit, we have 40 residents. So we have 2 RN for that in per shift. Second shift, 2 RN. And then on the third shift, there's only 1 RN for that 40 resident because there's a less activity at night, of course. But then for that 40 resident, you got to have 4 CNAs and a medtech. But the medtech here is different from what we use in the Philippines. Medtech here are actually nurse who gave the medication. So it's not someone from the laboratory.
Yeah, so it's very different really in terms of just the order of the facility.
Yeah. And since I work in the Philippines in a primary hospital and also in a tertiary hospital, I can say that skilled nursing facility is actually like hospital setup with a homey vibe. So it's I think it's a lot better here compared to most hospital in the Philippines.
Yep. And are there factors affecting the ratios based on your experience or based on your observations right now during your trainings under Aiden Healthcare?
Factors of well, um, I think even if you have 1:40 ratio of nurse patient, you can still do it because you've got a lot of help from CNAs and medtech, and then you also have, of course, nursing home or skilled nursing facility. You also have PTs, OTs, activity, what we call activity girl. uh, and also we have speech therapies. So you don't have to do everything at all. So you just got to do what your job is. What's your job description? And that is like most patient here they have for example catheter, PICC line, fracture, and medical condition. So it's not complicated because they're been to hospital already and they are there for monitoring and rehabilitation. So it's not really a toxic patient. So even though the ratio is high, you can still do it. It's not hard at all, I think.
Okay, thank you for noting that, Miss Jessa. No, and I think it's also important to note to the viewers right now that it really varies depending on the state or the skilled nursing facility that you will be assigned to in the future. Because, like for example, for Miss Jessa, she's currently assigned in a geriatric, skilled nursing facility, and as she mentioned, most of the patients that they are handling right now, they are really more on preventive healthcare, right? Miss Jessa, some of them are already like recovering or already came from hospitals, bigger hospitals, and then was transferred to the skilled nursing facility to like recover or do some therapy, right?
Yeah.
Miss Jessa. So it's also important as well that when you apply to the United States, maybe do a research or talk to your employer on where you could be possibly assigned, right? And with that said, Miss Jessa, prior to your deployment, did you know already what facility or what healthcare provider you will be assigned to before you arrive in the United States?
Yes, I knew it. Even before you apply, even because I applied for this specific facility
Oh,
before
really?
they process my paper. So I already knew it before they started to process my application.
Well, that's good to know, Miss Jessa. No, and I think aside from that, um, how was your experience so far overall, if you can describe it altogether? Your experience with Grandison and of course with your current facility right now.
Actually, I was very thankful to Grandison. I was previously have my own staffing agency, but I got abandoned by my first employer. So when I applied to Grandison, they just asked me to send everything, all the requirements. So they process everything really fast. And what I appreciate is that you have someone assigned to specific tasks, like for example, uh, fixing your document, your CGFNS. There's a deployment coordinator, and there's someone assigned for endorsement of your license. So you can ask and follow up anytime, and they will reply you right away. And then with my facility, I was very thankful that I came to the facility because everyone is kind, and they help me a lot with everything. And then I tell them my story, how it was working in the Philippines, and they are very supportive in every aspect here. So
Yeah, and
yeah, I don't.
I'm very surprised to find out that you were previously abandoned by your staffing agency. I didn't
Yeah,
know about that actually before prior our interview right now.
yeah. So I don't really have that big adjustment here. So it was nice and peaceful. It was good.
Yeah, I'm happy to know that you have a very peaceful and nice adjustment coming here from the Philippines, going to the United States, especially from New York to Rhode Island. And I think it's I'll also take this opportunity to like note that um to the other nurses, right? Who's waiting right now. So maybe let's do the math first, right? So you applied August 2020, October 2022. So that was like November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So in a span of like 9 months, you were able to get to the United States and live your American dream. And I think it's also an advantage to those other nurses who already have their priority dates, like Miss Jessa, who was previously abandoned by her staffing agency, right? So if you are also a nurse with the same experience with Miss Jessa, you may also message Grandison as well to find out how the team can help you, or how our recruitment can also help you. They'll let you know of the requirements or how we can possibly help you in terms of what's this, recapturing your priority date so that it will be easier for you to go to the United States. So just feel free to message Grandison's page so that everyone from the team can assist you as well. And sorry for that. I don't want it to sound like I'm marketing marketing right now, but I think it's one important thing that we can know from this interview, because I didn't actually know prior to this that you have been previously abandoned. And I think with that I can with that experience, I think what are the tips that you can give to your fellow nurses, Miss Jessa, on how they can still make their American dream come true, or maybe how can they make their arrival in the United States smoother, no, coming here from the Philippines.
My advice is choose Grandison.
Yeah, I did not expect that. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, can you expound this, Jess, or maybe can you add more?
Well, you really have to search everything before coming here, especially which state are you staying. And it will be helpful if you know someone from that state, because I think if there's a Filipino there, you will be more comfortable, and at least just in case of emergency, there will be someone who will help you. But then again, if you have encounter any problem, you can contact the agency, and I think they will help you with that. And be prepared for the expenses. You cannot come here empty-handed, even though you have uh, an assistance from the agency, because everything here is expensive. But once you start working, uh, I think it will be easier adjustment for you. And if you will come in the other state, uh, if they don't provide transportation for you, it was uh, I think you should find a place near to your house, because Uber is very expensive.
A house
And
near their facility. Yeah.
yeah, because Uber is very expensive here. Uh, and then uh, I think it's much easier if you come here alone, then let your family follow after few weeks or few months after you start your work. By the way, we have our salary here every week. So
Wow. Yeah, yeah. So
after
it's not
you
like here in the Philippines, like
have
we
your,
need to like wait two
yeah,
cut-offs before getting paid.
yeah, here you will have your salary every week.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's it.
by the way, I'm just curious, Miss Jessa. Is your family going to the United States or following you as well? In a span of like a month or two?
Actually, I'm single, so I don't have
Oh, yeah, sorry.
family anymore.
Yeah, but soon. Maybe Mr. Right is in the United States. No, I'm just kidding, Miss Jessa. So I just got curious because about the family tips that you mentioned earlier. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for pagpapaunlak no sa amin, Miss Jessa, for the Gadis Espresso Lounge interview. I think a lot of our viewers right now learned a lot from you, and from what I can say, from what I hear from different perspectives or experiences of the nurses, PTs, and OTs that we are deploying in the United States, iba-iba talaga siya, no? Depending on the facility, depending on the states that they choose. And it also varies depending on whether they went to the United States alone or together with their family already. So, in short, everyone has their different journey and experience. And I think it's really, really important, just like what Miss Jessa told earlier as well, to make sure that you communicate constantly with your employer, no? And that's what I can advise as well to the viewers and also Miss Jessa, that in the future, no, as we move forward, let's continue keeping that communication with our employer so that we can make sure that you have a smooth experience in the United States as a Gandison employee. Yeah. No, and I think that's all the questions that I have right now from my end, Miss Jessa. I hope that in the near future, when we have other nurses come in to Rhode Island as well, we can do another round of
Yes.
interviews
If
so
they
that
have any question, they can
yeah.
contact me anytime.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you so much, Mrs. Jessa. That's great to know. So you heard it, guys. So if you're interested in going to Rhode Island specifically, of course, aside from messaging Grandison, you can also message Miss Jessa, especially kung kailan malapit na yung arrival mo sa Rhode Island, no? So yeah. So once again, thank you so much, Miss Jessa. We're so happy to have you here in Grandison Espresso Lounge, and thank you once again to our viewers. And let's catch up once again on our next Grande Sans Press Lounge session featuring our nurses, PDs, OTs, and our partners. So thank you so much and have a great day.